4 is talking about fuel economy, and it provided us some data that I have downloaded, and it's a large sample. It goes up to 312 or 311, which is row 312, which I went ahead and denoted. So it says develop an estimated regression equation that can be used to predict fuel efficiency for highway driving given the engine's displacement. So let X represent engine's displacement and 3 decimal places. So I can do this with an analysis. And since this is it's a simple regression, and I know from looking ahead I'm going to need a plot. So I'm going to go ahead and, since it's only the one variable here, I'm going to do this as a scatter plot. So I am going to say displacement and fuel economy. Oops. Let's do that again. Displacement. Don't you hate it when that happens? Okay, displacement, fuel economy. And I'm going to insert a scatter plot. Right click on any of my values, add a trend line, linear, and I want the equation on the chart. And I can see, it looks so bizarre. I wonder why it looks like that. Okay, so here's my equation. And I'm going to make the font bigger. And I'm going to highlight it. So there's my equation that I'm going to put in right here. And it wants 3 decimal places, so I need to note that. Then it asks about the relationship. It wants to know if it's significant. And so in order to know that, I have to do my data analysis. I have to do the regression on columns C. And remember, it went to C 312, and then my X is going to be E1 to E12, E312. And I have labels, confidence interval. And I'll do my output range over here. Let's say G23. Sorry, that's where I'm uploading videos for you all. Okay. There we go. That's why it looks like that, because I've got that gray screen behind it. Okay, so here's my output. And I need to look at my p-value here, and they both are quite significant, which I can see. That one's got 124 zeros in front of it, so it's quite a small. And then it wants to know how much variation, which again we know is our r squared. And number in a percentage. And it wants 1 decimal place. So we'll give it 1 decimal place. Okay, so it's 69.4%. Now, okay, this part gets just a little tedious, but let's work through this. We need to create a scatter plot that differentiates between compact, mid-size, and large. So to do this, I'm going to right click and I'm going to say select data. And I'm going to start by adding compact. And my Y series select is going to be displacement, but it's going to be only for the compact cars. Okay, only compact. And then my Y series is going to be miles per gallon, but only for my compact. Okay. Now I need to add mid-size. And I'll do the same thing where displacement is my mid-size. And then my miles per gallon. Oops, tell that okay. My Y is my mid-size miles per gallon. You know what? It looks like I have that in there twice. See that? So it should be E247. Okay, and then last I'll do my large. Then I'll tell it okay down here. There is my scatter plot, and I need to tell it to give me axis. I don't want grid lines, I don't want the trend line, but I do need a legend so that I know what color goes with each of these. And my color, I could mess it with it and make it match up to these to make it easier, or I can just be real careful to know that let me do that. So compact, they have compact as blue. Not gonna let me change that. Okay, well then I need to be real careful to know that my colors are different when I'm trying to determine which of these charts is most like mine. So it looks like number 4 is going to be most like mine. Okay, so you'll figure that. Then it asked me to answer some questions, and then it wants me to do a multiple regression like I did in the previous problem. So let's do that down here. And so it wants me to do a regression with data analyze. Okay, so my y, my y is still going to be, let's see, what did it say? Consider the, oh, ooh, glad I read that. I'm sorry. It wants me to add a dummy variable. Okay, so to do that, to make it easier for you to see, I am going to copy all of this and I'm going to paste it down here to kind of start over with this data. Actually, it'll be easier if I go way over here. Let's see. And paste it right here. So it wants me to add a dummy variable, class midsize and class large. Then it wants me to create the equation using displacement, class medium and class large, and then of course the y is going to be the miles per gallon. So to make this cleaner to see, fuel type is not going to matter here, so I'm going to delete the column, but I need to put in 2 columns because I need mid, size, and large. And all a dummy variable is, it's giving us a value, a numerical value for something that we don't have a numerical value for. We use this a lot in dichotomous data, meaning if I asked you a question and there was only 1 or 2 answers, yes or no, male or female, and we need to assign a value, the value really doesn't mean anything. You as the researcher can determine what you want the value to be, but in this case it said if the car is a mid-size, give it a value of 1, otherwise give it a value of 0. So I can say 0 for our compact, and I say 1 for a midsize, and then I say 0 for large. And then I do the same thing for a large. So if it's a large, I give it a value of 1, otherwise I give it a value of 0. So going back up to the top, my compact and my mid-size are 0, and my large is a 1. Okay, now it wants me to run the regression model for this. So data analyze, regression, and let me go back to our problem. Hold on, let me go back and read this first. Let x1 represent the displacement. So that tells me that my y is going to be my miles per gallon. So data analyze, regression, my y is going to be S. My x is going to be P through R. And my output range, let's put it right here. That's G 45. Oops, I guess I overwrote some data, and that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so my engine's displacement, okay, so my intercept is first, it's my y. My engine displacement is my x1, my mid-size is my x2, and my class large is my x3, and we're gonna probably want, how many did it say? 3 decimals. Make sure that our negative is there. What percentage does the mile per gallon explain? And how many decimals? 1 decimal place. So remember, that's our r squared. It's a percentage with 1 decimal place, so it's 81.8%. Then at a significant level of 0.05, it wants us to answer the questions in D. And so you should know by now we're looking at our p-values. Okay, then on E, consider the addition of a dummy variable for fuel premium. So we're doing the same thing, but now we're adding in fuel premium. And that's going to be in the last, so it's going to be after the large. And remember, I had deleted it, but that's no big deal because we'll just come up here and say fuel type, copy that column. Then what I'm going to do to make this simple, instead of going through, so I want it right here, insert. So instead of going and saying 1 and then 0 and possibly missing any, I'm going to sort my data by my fuel premium. That way they're all together. Since I already have my dummy variable in for my cars. So, data sort. So my P's will be a 1. My R's will be a 0. Then I need to rerun that regression with engine's displacement at x1, class midsize, class large, and fuel premium, and then answer these questions, which you already know how to do. So I'm going to leave that one to you to complete. So just follow the steps that you did in the previous part of the question.